Hello and welcome to episode 36. Go from AI will take my job to AI just upgraded my career. How to turn anxiety into job skills, strategy and security. Hi, I'm Andrew Halliday, coach. If you've ever had that sinking feeling that AI might one day take your job better, faster, and cheaper than you, then this episode is a 100% for you. Maybe you've seen the headlines that millions of jobs are at risk. AI can do in seconds what humans need hours or even days to achieve. Maybe you've even watched tools like ChatGPT, Midjourney, or automation software slide quietly into your workplace and thought, hang on, if it can write emails, draft strategies, design campaigns, crunch data, what exactly is left for me? That fear is real. And if you work in leadership communications, especially in organizations dealing with maybe life-saving products, there's an extra layer of pressure. You're responsible for words that shape trust, safety, and reputation. The stakes are high, and the landscape is changing fast. In this episode, we're going to flip the script. We're going to move from AI as a threat to AI as a power tool. In fact, a lot of this episode, I utilized AI to assist with finding the grounds where you can turn your fear into forward fast motion for yourself and show you how to turn any anxiety into a concrete plan to future-proof you and your job. You'll learn how AI is already changing real work at the moment, not just the scary headlines, that what is happening to tasks inside jobs, especially in leadership and strategic communications. Where also too humans still have a huge advantage. Things like judgment, empathy, ethics, reading the room, navigating politics, and building trust in high stakes situations. Also too, how to become AI augmented, not AI replaced. Practical ways of using AI for drafting, summarizing, brainstorming, while you keep ownership of strategy, tone, and risk. How to turn yourself into a translation layer, that layer between AI tools and the real world, leadership. The person who can take messy strategy, complex regulation, and human emotions and turn it into clear, safe, and effective communication. And what it means to future-proof your job. From building the right skills to claiming a seat at the decision-making table to becoming the trusted advisor that leaders want in the room when it really matters. By the end of this episode, the goal isn't that you feel less scared because AI isn't that powerful. The goal is that you feel more confident because you know exactly how to respond, how to use AI without losing your value, how to shift from I write stuff to I shape how people think, act, and stay safe. And also how to turn today's fear into tomorrow's security and opportunity. So let's get into it and start turning that fear of AI taking your job into a roadmap of upgrading your career. Hey, feeling that knot in your stomach every time someone mentions AI? You're not alone. All the world over, smart, capable people are quietly asking themselves, what if AI takes my job? What if I get left behind? What if I don't even know where to start? I'm Andrew Halliday, coach, and that's exactly where I come in. I help people find and teams move from fearful and frozen to curious, confident, and future ready in a world that's suddenly obsessed with AI. Not with hype, not with jargon, but with practical conversations, real examples. and clear next steps that fit your role, your organization, and your industry. When we work together, you'll understand what AI is actually likely to change in your job and what it won't. Spot the opportunities hiding inside the fear, new skills, new roles, new ways to add value. Learn how to use AI as a power tool, not a threat, so you become more effective, not more replaceable. Build a simple, realistic, future-proofing plan for yourself, your team, and for your whole business. Whether you're creative comms, team leader, leadership comms group, or an individual just trying to make sense of it all, I'll help you map out a path from AI is going to take my job to AI is just opening new ways for me to grow. If you're ready to swap late night worry for a clear, grounded plan, let's talk. Reach out to me, Andrew Halliday, coach, and let's start shifting from fear to opportunity today. Okay, so let's just start with it. The fear. AI is coming for my job. Let's start with the internal monologue that many people are having, but it's not always what you're saying out loud. For example, you might work in a comms team or a creative role, you write campaigns, design assets, you plan messaging, maybe script videos or produce content, and someone shows you an AI tool that can spit it out 20 headlines, options in 10 seconds, draft an email campaign faster than you can brief it, summarize a complex report into 3 bullet points, and your brain quietly goes, so if this thing is doing that, thinking and writing, why would anybody keep paying me? And to that, the fact that your organization deals, for example, in life-saving products, that's serious stuff we're thinking. If AI gets something wrong in this space, that's not just embarrassing, it could be dangerous. But if I say that out loud, do I sound like a dinosaur who doesn't get AI? Here's the first key idea for today. AI is far more likely to change your job than instantly erase it. The risk isn't no humans are needed. The risk is we only need humans who know how to work with AI in the right way. So the question becomes not will AI take my job, but how do I make myself the kind of person who becomes more valuable because of AI? And to answer that, let's start with, for example, a creative comms team. All right, so if you're a creative comms team, threat or upgrade. Let's picture a creative comms team inside a company that, for example, makes life-saving products. They create campaigns about product benefits and safety, educational materials for patients and customers, internal comms about product launches, social content, brochures, FAQs, and more. When AI walks in the door, here's what happens. What AI can do for them is, well, fantastic. Draft first version of blog posts, emails, social copy, spin out multiple versions of taglines for A/B testing, summarize long clinical or technical documents into plain language, help translate content into other languages, brainstorming angles, metaphors, content ideas, so on and so forth. So if your value is seen as I produce text and content quickly, that's scary because AI can do that now and it's a passable version faster than you. But, and this is the big but, where AI struggles, humans can shine. With a life-saving context, it's not just about churning out words, it's about accuracy and safety, for example. You can't mislead people about how to use a product that affects their health or safety. Regulation and compliance. There are rules about what claims you can make, what you have to disclose, what warnings must be included. There's context and nuance. You need to understand what the audience already believes, fears, or misunderstands, and take that into account. And the tone that you use in communication and trust, you're communicating about serious issues that can't sound flippant or careless. And that human empathetic element is really important. AI doesn't understand consequences. It just rolls out with the information. It doesn't know that one misleading phrase could cause world harm. It just knows patterns of words. That's where you come in. So instead of AI versus the creative comms team, we reframe it as AI does the first 68% of the work. Humans own the last 20 to 40% that truly matters: safety, ethics, clarity, and trust. Let's look into turning a creative team from replaceable to essential. How does a creative comms team practically future-proof themselves? Let's break it down to a few moves. Firstly, move one, become AI augmented, not AI resistant team. Instead of fearing AI, the team says we're going to be the people who know how to use AI safely and effectively in the business. And this is what it looks like. Using AI to draft, but always one, review for factual accuracy. Just because AI says something, it doesn't mean that it's right or true. There are many instances where current information cannot necessarily be referenced and be factual and true using AI alone. Checking for regulatory compliance, which is 100% minefield. Adjusting tone for sensitivity. Sensitivity is a big space that AI necessarily doesn't have a grasp on, or for that matter, clarity. Creating guidelines. Guidelines requires a human touch where AI can be used to draft and brainstorm, and where AI must not be used with the final safety critical instructions and the crisis messages. Keeping a record of AI mistakes that they catch, missing warnings, oversimplified risks, over promising outcomes. This builds a compelling case that AI is useful, but human oversight is essential. We are the oversight. Move two, specialize in safe, clear, and compliance. The creative team defines its value as we know how to talk about, for example, life-saving products in the way that is accurate, responsible, and easy to understand. So that means that learning the relevant regulations and safety requirements, creating templates that are required warnings and disclaimers baked in, training AI on approved language and brand voice, then editing with human judgment. We're no longer just the creatives. We become safety-aware communicators who prove your impact on reducing risk. Move three, focus on human-only skills. The team deliberately develops skills that AI struggles with, running workshops with clinicians or engineers to deeply understand the product, interviewing patients or users to hear real stories and real fears, turning complex, messy information into clear narratives and visual explanations, navigating internal politics, who needs to approve what and why. AI can't navigate a tense meeting, handle a defensive stakeholder, or sense that legal is worried about this sentence, but you can. That's a most important role. Okay, so it's all very well and good to have some of those strategic ways of integrating AI into what you're already doing, so you're augmenting yourself. But what can you, as an individual, start immediately and do tomorrow to future-proof yourself? Well, here are some suggestions. Audit your tasks. Make it very, very simple for you to create a value proposition around yourself. Right? So grab a piece of paper and list some of your main tasks as an E for easily automated, M maybe partially automated, and H hard to automate. So your goal over time is to use AI for more of the E, easy tasks, and deliberately move your energy and your activities into H, the hard to automate category, like judgment, relationships, strategy, crisis, and coaching. And by doing so, it creates that value that is surrounded around you and your activities, because most of your activities are that hard to automate. The second thing you can do is experiment with AI on your own terms. Pick some of the recurring tasks that you're doing and, for example, drafting an email, summarizing a long document. Try using AI as a starting point, and then that way you can easily pass on a lot of your automated tasks onto AI, and then you can continue to use some of those hours, minutes and hours that you're dedicating to the easy tasks, and then you can start to improve yourself. And then you can carefully edit and improve some of the easily automated tasks and notice where AI falls short, and pick those gaps where AI falls short with those easily automated tasks, and then that's where you create more value for yourself. Document your human impact. Start a little private log as to times you've prevented confusion, panic, or misinterpretation that AI could not do. Times you've helped leadership choose better wording. Once again, just avoiding miscommunication and confusion. Times your communication has improved if you're in that life-saving space, safety, clarity, and trust. And this becomes evidence that you're more than just a content generator. You can also get closer to decisions, asked to sit in more meetings, and one more meeting where communication implications are big. So I'd love to be there so we can plan how to communicate this clearly and safely. The more you understand the thinking behind the decisions, the more valuable you become. Invest in one of the new skill areas that AI struggles with, and that might be facilitation, coaching, crisis communication, change management. All these things make you hard to replace and more central to your organization. So you need to start to reframe the story overall. That let's just bring it all together. That AI absolutely is going to take over parts of our jobs, especially the repetitive, fast drafting, mechanical parts. For creative comms and leadership comms teams, that can feel like 100% direct threat. AI is a force multiplier of people who know how to use it. AI is a risk for people who only do parts of that job that AI can do. AI is an opportunity for people willing to move up the value chain into judgments, ethics, relationships, and strategy, where you can provide the most amount of value. For creative teams, the opportunity is to become an AI-powered, safe, aware storyteller who makes products understandable, trustworthy, and responsibly as they're promoted. For this type of team, the opportunity is to become a trusted advisor who helps leaders say the right thing at the right time, in the right way, especially when the stakes are very high. And the fear is understandable because it doesn't have to be the final chapter. You can choose to become AI augmented, not replaced, a strategic partner, not just a content producer, a person leaders want in the room when things really matter. And that's what future-proofing your job in the age of AI really looks like. So that concludes episode 36. Go from AI will take my job to AI just upgraded my career. How to turn anxiety into job skills, strategy, and security. If you enjoyed this podcast, or if you know someone who's going to benefit from it, because the conversation is big around this area at the moment, and they're worried about AI taking their job, then send them the details of this podcast because it will be very helpful for them. Please go on and share this podcast to your friends and family because you know that there's someone who will benefit from it. And if you're looking to further yourself, look me up on Instagram at Andrew Halliday Coach, and I'd be more than happy to answer some of your questions and assist you in whatever way I can. Until next time.